Today we will cover a very interesting X11 menu, which is a customized menu you can create by your own in order to simplify your workflow. If you notice here in Lubuntu, I'm using Lubuntu 22. This is a menu with all these submenus and there is a search button. jgmenu does the same thing and maybe even better because it has more customization than even the LXQT menu that we have here. First off, on the GitHub page, you will see all the work that is done on the menu and all the features that you can do. And they gave two screenshots, if you notice. One of them looks like the Rofi ones that you see, and the other one is the typical menu system that you see, let's say in OpenBox or Fluxbox or IceWM or all these window managers. But it is now on its own, so you can use it even on tiling window managers and all other desktop environments, so to give you more flexibility and more functionality for your work. So let us start first with the jgmenu. I will open a terminal and let us first install it. So to install it, it's very simple. Sudo apt install jgmenu. I'm using Lubuntu, so I will use this one. It is already installed. Of course, for Fedora, dnf install jgmenu. For Arch, pacman-s jgmenu. All the other distributions in Void also is the same. You can install it on nearly all of the major distributions. You can install jgmenu. If you run it, jgmenu, you will notice here I have made a customized one, which will give you all the applications that are available on my system. And if you notice, they have a menu. It's a very good menu system. And here also you can search, but this one you need to define it so that you can search. But let's say I want to search for featherpad, so I press FEA and we got the featherpad and we click it and we can get it. So basically this is the one that you can get from this menu. First, if you want to get the feeling how we did all these, the borders, the width and all of the other stuff, we need to have a look at jgmenurc. And to find it, I already made a customized one, but there is some which you can use. For example, if you locate jgmenurc, you will notice that there is 5 files of jgmenurc. Let's say this one, if you want. And so this is all the file, very small file. You can copy it, jgmenurc, and you need to paste it in a special folder. And the special folder is, you go to .config, jgmenu. If it is not available, you create it. I created a folder here, jgmenu, and inside this jgmenu you create a file jgmenurc. I put my own customized jgmenurc. I'll put also a link of this file. It's a very small file, and if we click it, we will reach this one. So this is only the file which manipulates the menu. I will put also here the terminal. So first off, what does this do? If we look first, position mode is pointer. So whenever I trigger it, it will search where the mouse is and will put the mouse. If you get an old copy, sometimes it puts at pointer instead of position mode. This is a depreciated one. It is at pointer equal 1 or 0. This is the depreciated one. So make sure to use this new one, or remove the other one at pointer and put this one. The second thing is stay alive is 0. This is for tint2 also, if you want to use it or if you want to keep it running as a daemon. CSV CMD, I put it as apps. You can pick like 4 items. I put apps. You can read everything in the manual, but this is the one that I'm using right now. Tint2 look is 0. You can put it also as 1. This is also for customization for tint2. Terminal execution is qterminal, and the argument is by default is -e. This one is also an option if you want to, instead of running a command, you want to run a command in the terminal. So this one I will not discuss, but you can read it also in the manual. So the menu width is 320. So here, if I press jgmenu, the width is 320. If you want to make it less, you come here. You make it 220, let's say. Save. And you can make it like here. So here it is 220. The width is 220. The menu padding is 38. So you tell me why you use the menu padding. Most of the reasons we use the menu padding, because there is some files that we will use. The search button will be here. So in order to see the search button, if you don't put it, the search button will be on the first here, on the first item. So we have to make sure of this one. And also you can read it in the manual, how we can set the menu padding. The menu padding should be set. And also you need to make some arrangements so that you will not interfere with the others. So the padding for the right, bottom, left, it's the same thing, but it's a minimal padding. Menu radius is 15. So that's why you see the rounded corners. This is what the rounded corners. If you want them more, you can increase the radius. The menu border is 2. If you don't want a border, you can put it as 0. But if you put a border, you need to put a good color to have with the theme that you have. We come to the font. The font is Ubuntu regular 22 pixel. You can increase it, decrease it, or you use your other font. The icon size is 22. If you think that the icons here are small, you can increase them. But you have to make sure if you increase them, you have to increase also the item. And this is the item height. You need to increase the item height. 22, you need to increase it. The other thing is the icon theme, Papyrus. You can put whatever you want. If you keep it, it will most probably take the GTK theme. The arrow string is this symbol for the arrow. Maybe you can put it the greater than or 2 arrows, etc. But you can see that in the sub menu, this is the arrow that is used. So the color menu background, the background is 14, 14, 14. It is like black. The menu border is 80, 80, 00 is the olive one. The normal background is black also. The foreground is white. The text you see is white. The selection, when you select it, it will be, the background is olive. So here, when I select it, the background is olive. And the selection foreground is white. And the separator foreground is also like a grayish color. So this is very important for jgmenurc. So sometimes you tell me, well, I need to have four menus, and maybe some menu will have a width greater than the other. So how can I use this one? Because I cannot change this one. This is for all the systems it is used. There is an option in jgmenu, you can read it. It has jgmenu --config file. You can put the file, another file, jgmenurc1, let's say. So it will take the other file. It will not take the default one, which is found in .config, jgmenurc. Okay, so this is the first thing we discussed. The next thing is how it will operate. Let us start first with a simple terminal. And if I press ls, it will give me all of these. If I want them to be included in a menu, I will put ls and I will pipe it into jgmenu --simple. That's the one that we are using. So if you notice from the jgmenurc, this is the padding and these are the items. If you notice, I added a directory feather pad. Let's say I chose documents. So it will tell me documents command not found. So basically what jgmenu is doing, it is taking the value here and making it as a command. So if I press this one, featherpad, for example, it will open featherpad for me. So I have created a file called a.csv. Okay, and this file, there is 2 items here. These 2 items is to give you, for the padding that I put on the top, in order to have a search button. This is the icon for the search button. All you have to do is you copy paste this one, because I used it with the jgmenurc. If you want to change the dimensions of jgmenurc, you have to make sure to change this one also. So this is the icon. If you want to know about these are 1817. So from the start of the menu on top left, you start 1817 for the location. 16 by 16 is the size of the icon. left top, it is on the left top. This is the background color, this is the foreground color, and this is the location of the icon. The second one is the search item, where it is located, and it is also on the left top left. And also 42 is the padding that we are using for maybe 38 to 42. It is the padding, but I put it as 42, and it is 150 by 20. And what you will see is search 3 dots for this one. And we come to the important part. So this one you don't need to include, but it's better to include because it will be more pleasant. Here what we have is something called a separator. So if you want to include a separator, and also you want to include a name for this separator. Sometimes if you put it like this, it will put it as a whole line. If you put it like this, it will give you as a name. So this one, if you want to make some categories, you can include them. You will see them. Here I included only one item for my menu. You can include many items. So the item is 13 minutes. So you will show on the menu 13 minutes. The command is the second one. The command is featherpad. It should be featherpad a.csv. So open the file a.csv. The third one is the location of the icon. The fourth one is the working directory. You can include it or you might not include it. Sometimes, in most cases, you don't include it because you don't care about if you are running a command for the working directory. But I included it, /home/lubuntu22/desktop. This is the fourth one. And the fifth one is the metadata. So if you have this menu and you want to search, let's say, you can put 13 minutes, it will show 13 minutes. Or if you press display or monitor, it will also cycle on it. So if you want, let me copy this one and paste. Maybe I put this one 14 minutes and this one 15 minutes and save. Just one thing we said here. When I launch this one, featherpad a.csv, it will launch a.csv in the home directory. But because I put it here in the desktop, it will open featherpad a.csv. It will open it because it knows that a.csv is in the desktop directory. So let me close this one. And let me go first to cd desktop. So we need to cat first a.csv. So this is the file, and we need to jgmenu -- simple. So if you notice here, I have now the search button. I have the separator, which is called my programs. If I did not put my programs, it will be the same line as this one. And I have 13, 14, 15 minutes. And if I search, let's say 13 minutes, it will be like this. Let's say I want to search for K. There is no K. M, there is an M, which is the monitor, because we said that the monitor will be available in the metadata. Let me open it first. So it opens the a.csv, and if you notice here in the metadata, if you put monitor or you put display, it will put it like this. Another thing we can look at here, for example, is an item called jgmenu_run apps. If you remember the jgmenu before, it gave me all the apps: accessories, development, education, games, graphics, multimedia, internet, office, other setting, system. Now what it give me the file that jgmenu generated. Let us learn a little bit from this file. So here the file, we have the accessories. And the second one, it should be the command. But the command, it is an internal command by jgmenu. It tells jgmenu to do a submenu, checkout, to do a submenu. And the submenu, this is internal one. They called it apps directory accessories. You can call it XXX or DDD or FFF. There's no problem. And the third one is the icon. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I press jgmenu, so here if you notice, accessories, development, education, games, graphics, multimedia, internet, office, others, settings and system. And here I have accessories, games, graphics. So we don't have development or education. We don't have them because they specified a command which is apps-directory.development, and we don't have them on the system because this one is a universal, jgmenu is a universal system. It looks for all of these and put them. So here, if you notice here, there is a tag for the accessories. So the accessories, you have the programs in the accessories. And afterwards, there is the games. So development and education, when it says where is it, it doesn't exist, so it will not put it in the menu. So here what happens is, if you want to have a submenu, what you have to do is you put you put a name, you put the submenu, what is it called? Let's say apps directory accessories, and you put then the icon. This is the default icon from the GTK theme. If you don't have it, if it is not available, you have to put the full path in order to get it. After you put this menu, the big menu, all the submenus should be afterwards, because you need to have caret tag the accessories. You finish the tag accessories, you go to tag app directory games, also tag app directory graphics, and then all the tags will follow the same thing. So what you can do with this one is very good. You can learn from it what they are doing, or if you need something to include in your customized menu, let's say you need clipper, you take this clipper, let's say I will copy it and I will put it, let's take a.csv, let's say, and I will put it here. I will save it, and now, for example, I now have clipboard tool. So you can add all the items that you need to have them here. Search for clipboard, let's say I say Q, it becomes like this. Very simple. Another thing, let's say if you notice first that jgmenu had all of these, but we did not have a search button. So in order to get a search button, for example, what you can do is you pipe this one into, let's say, applications.csv. So I now have applications.csv, and I will take from this the search for these, copy, I will take this application, on top I will add these two, save. So now cat applications.csv, I will pipe it now into jgmenu -- simple, and if you notice now the same menu, it now have a search button. If monitor, so this is the monitor, and this one also has in the metadata a monitor. Or let's say I want to search for featherpad, enter, you entered into feather. If you need more knowledge, you can go for jgmenu, the manual, man jgmenu. It has all of the features that we have discussed, more extensive ones. And if you go down, you will see how the menu, the padding, how it is divided, all the items that I talked about in greater detail, so that you can make your menu of your dreams. Finally, we have my menu that I use jgmenu to include it with my workflow, and this is the menu that I'm using. First off, as you can see, you have this icon and the search, and down here you will have let's say with the web browser, the file manager, the terminal, and the HDMI. And in the HDMI, it is a sub menu, checkout HDMI, and you have the logo or the icon, and down there, this HDMI, you will put it in the end, the three items that you will see: enable monitor resolution, HDMI monitor placement, or monitor sound, which is the pivot control. And you can see also here the separators, etc., etc. If you want to see it here, it is here. You will have the search button, the web browser, the file manager, the HDMI. It has three items which are down here: enable monitor, HDMI, the monitor, toggle conky W bar. Very handy and very clean. This is the JG menu. If you think that JG menu is a little bit complicated, there's also X menu, and this is the JG menu. I already did it before I used before X menu. So if you want to see the X menu, I also made an X menu. So this is the X menu. It's the same, but X menu is also simpler because it doesn't have any rounded shapes, and it relies on, instead of jgmenurc, it depends on .x resources. So you have to put the items in .x resources. So that's it for now. You can pick whichever menu you like. If you like Rofi, you can stick with Rofi. If you like dmenu, you can stick with dmenu. But bear in mind that jgmenu is very well and very nice, and you can use it in almost all distributions, especially if you are using it with OpenBox, because it plays well with this tint too. That's it for now, and we'll be back with another video.